One. In this video, I'll be talking about caching techniques. Caching techniques. Continue introduction to cache. Cache memory is a small, fast memory located close to the CPU. It temporarily stores copies of frequently used data from main memory, and it's also reducing the time the CPU needs to access data. Cache improves the performance of computers by minimizing access delays. So what all this means is that the cache memory is closest to the CPU. Hence, accessing data becomes very easy. But hence, execution is fast. So compared to the RAM, we can say that caching is very close to the CPU more than the RAM. So to continue, we have the caching mapping techniques. That's the cache mapping techniques. So we have the direct mapping and the fully associative mapping. So to talk about the direct mapping, it maps each memory block to a specific cache line using modulo. It's also simple but prone to conflict. Simple but prone to conflict. And with the fully associative mapping, any block can go into any line in the caching. Any block can go into any line in the caching. Okay, and it also reduces conflict but requires complex hardware. So that's about the fully associative mapping. So the fourth one, we have the cache replacement. So the cache replacement policies. So this, when the cache is full, a replacement policy decides which blocks to remove. So the blocks are the LRU, that's the least recently used, and also the FIFO, that's the first in, first out. We also have the random. So in the LRU, that's the least recently used, it replaces the block that hasn't been used in the longest time. So what this means is that when a data has been stored in the cache memory and another data needs to be stored, it replaces it with the data which has already been stored for a longer period that is not in use. So to go with the FIFO, it replaces the block that entered the cache first. So what this means is that in this case, it replaces the data that comes in the first with the next, oh sorry for that, that comes in first with the next incoming data. And with the random, it replaces a randomly selected cache block. So that's what the random also does. So this is about the cache replacement policies. So to continue with the cache write techniques, we have the write through, the write back, and the write around. So the write through, data is written to both the cache and the main memory at the same time. So data that has been entered is written to both the cache and the main memory at the same time, but not different time. So at the same time, so that's the write through. So with the write back, data is written only to the cache and updated to main memory later. So in this, data is not written to both the cache and the main memory, but it is written only to the cache and it is updated to the main memory later. So with the write around, data is written only to main memory bypassing the caching. So data is not stored in the cache. It's just written there, then to bypass it, and it is written to the only the main memory. So these techniques determine how and when updates are made. So these are the techniques that determines how and when updates are made. So let's go to the next slide. So the next slide talk about the cache performance matrices. So the matrices to evaluate cache efficiencies. First, you have the hit ratio. That's the percentage of memory accesses that are found in the cache. So that's the percentage of the memory access that can be found in the cache. And we also have the miss ratio. That's the percentage of access that must go to main memory but not in the cache. We also have the access time. That's the time taken to fetch data from cache or memory. So the time taken for to fetch a data that's from either cache or the memory. So these are the higher hit ratios and lower access times. So let's go to the next slide. So in conclusion, effective cache strategies can significantly speed up computing systems. So to understanding mapping, replacement, and write techniques is essential. So for improving memory performance and overall system efficiency. So this comes to the end of my video. Thank you.